Okay, so it's only with the C shape you have perfect arpeggios. Okay, so this, it could be a C-shaped C, but that's not going to play as easy as a C-shaped A flat on my guitar. And it has nothing to do with whether it's A flat or C or anything. It has to do with the shape of the shape of the chord. So if I put the capo on the E, right? The capo on the E. Now this is just like your guitar at home. Okay, so this is a C. So C is the only chord and shape, so this is a C-shaped C, that you get perfect arpeggios. Okay, that would be like. Okay, C is the only one you'll get those perfects. You can get them pretty much on G too, but G you get into trouble a little bit. I mean, G is actually the same thing but lowered. We could do that. We could try the G just to see what's going on with the G shape. So let's try that G shape here. All right, try it one more time. I'll tell you, it just seems like G isn't exactly the same. So, but the pentatonic scales, when you say, hey, well, we're going to play a scale now, and I may indeed do one of these charts for just a pattern, just for tritones, you know, for chords, 1 3 5 3 5 1 5 1 3. I'm saying a pattern, an actual pattern stack. We could do that, but this pattern stack is just for pentatonic scales, which is 1 2 3 5 6. Okay, so again, the cage system works on pentatonic scales. Wait a minute. You know, I mean, that C is very characteristic, and if you look at it on the short stack, what I just played was 3 5 6 root, 2 3 5 6 root 2, then up to a 3 5. But this part, this root 2 and 3 5 part, hit the tuning warp, so you know what happens then, right? That's right, they were moved over, and since they were moved over, look what we're left with. This is the C-shaped C. In my case, it was down here, a different one, but it's the C shape. So when you see the word cage, C-A-G-E-D, we're talking about the C shape. We're talking about this S2L down here, stack of 2 long, 3 5 6 R. That's right, the C shape starts on the 3rd, all right, of the key, of the R. So it starts on the E. Then we went to an S3 S2 3 5 6 R2, but when we got to the R2 we had to warp for the tuning warp, and that's where you get that characteristic C chord. That's where the characteristic C chord lives. There it is. You got the R, you got the 3, you got the 5. You're holding that down usually on the finger bar, or it'll be on open string. And then this is where your like pointer finger goes. These are the root locations. Then you have a third up there on the top string. All right, usually don't play the third on the bottom, but you can play the fifth. You know, so it's this kind of thing. So that's how, you know, that becomes the C shape like that. All right. Once you warp it, but we use this pattern. It's very simple. Now, what are the ditties? The ditties are if we're on the, that only works with C, right? When you get to the E shape pattern, okay, or let's say the D shape pattern. D is the second of the key of C. D is the second. F sharp is the second of the key of E, right? Well, you're on that second no matter what the R is. Okay, you start that second and you go 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2. All right. Now we can't, if that's on the bar, if the fret nut or a capo is on this bar right here, okay, I know this is boring, but you got to keep on covering it. You know, until it becomes unboring. Like when you go to play, you'll notice a difference in your playing. So, say this is the fret nut or capo. We want to start on this 2. Okay, say now down here or here. I put the capo back on. All right. Now this is E. All right. I wouldn't argue that. So it goes. Say that's the second. Okay, so we're in the key of D now, right? So let's say we're going to start right here. What will make it even easier? I'm going to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 keyboard there. Guess what we can't do? we can't, if that 2 is there, 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2, we can't get that 3. The capo says no. So how do we get that 3? Let's do it this way. Let's take the 2 from here. All right, I'm going to take the 2 from here. So we draw the fret nut right there. Hopefully this will work. Because we saw before we had to start on this R. We can start on that R for the. All right, so we got 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got essentially half of the thing is here. This is, we've got about 5 of the strings. This is our guitar neck right there. It starts there, goes to the 5, 6. Okay, but then we also have the R2 right there kind of thing. So we're going to have that also as part of it. I know this looks like Boolean algebra, min terms and max terms and all that. So that's where this ends up. You can see how abstract it gets. But the bottom line is you go up the pattern and then you start the pattern over again. Okay? So like I say, we couldn't play in key of D. We couldn't start on E and do the short pattern, the barred pattern. We just don't have that other note. But if we start on the 2 and do the open capo pentatonic stack, okay, the 5, 6. Now I'm going to warp. Okay, it takes me all the way up the line. Watch me play that again.